G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while and I do apologise for that, but yeah, you remember that last video I did and it was really wet and snowy and yeah, stuff wasn't going too good. Well, that was at the start of lambing, and well, basically it didn't stop until lambing was finished. Lambing is not quite finished yet. We've got maybe 20 ewes left to lamb, which is good. They're all shedded out, they're in 2 paddocks, which makes life easy. But man, it's wet, which is ironic in what's going to be the video after this later on today. Yeah, you'll work that out when we get there. But yeah, okay. So as you can see, that paddock back there is pretty grey. The one beforehand was too. This is not what they're going into. They're going into a paddock just over there. But yeah, it's tight. It's very tight, and that's made a whole lot harder by the sheer amount of rain we've had. The wee flat down over there where the maize was a couple of years ago, we had to leave it for a couple of rounds because, well, the river was going to flood. It didn't quite get right over, but it came close a few times. Yeah, so hasn't been the best lambing, and to top that all off, Sarah damaged her hip right at the start, so I'll end up having to do all of the lambing and a fair whack of the calves as well. So it's alright, but we have 60 calves, which is the most we've ever done, and we're sort of out of the risk period now for rotavirus or anything like that. We had the 39 and we got the rotavirus and nothing died, and then we had 2 die of like heart attacks or something. Yeah, so that sucked. We thought, oh, maybe we need another 5 or 10, so we both organised 10 and they both came through. So Sarah's 10 became 9 and my 10 became 14. So we got 23 on 37, which gives us 60 calves, which is awesome. We'll have a wee look at them later on. Yeah, so things have been a bit hectic. We have got a little bit of tractor work done, but it's just the old videoing just got put on hold. But anyway, we're going to try crank back into it now. So those 3 over there, I'm going to go and chase out. They're a bit footsore. It's not foot rot or anything like that. All it is the ground conditions are so muddy, they get wee balls of mud stuck between their hooves, and yes, I could catch them and pull those out, but I'm not going to because catching them alone would be more stress than what that causes, and they fall out as fast as they build up in there. So we get a couple of dry days and they'll all fall out, and these guys will be as happy as hell. But gotta admit, considering the season, they're not looking bad, the wee hoagies. Yeah, but anyway, we'll get them on the move. Ah, man, it's wet. So these wee girls have just come through there. That wasn't muddy like that before that did. They haven't been in here for, let me think, they had 2 days up there. They had 2 or 3 days across there. They might only had 2, say 2. I think they got 3 days in that one, but you can see my muddy wheel tracks up there. Yeah, so this has had, let's say 6-7 days since they've been on here. Hasn't even rained much in that 7 days, but all our grass area is just like a fully saturated sponge right now. Ironically, crop paddocks up there, that one I actually disced last night. Yeah, soil with no roots or anything in it, and to be fair, I had subsoiled all of that over a month ago. Like started first week of September, maybe second week, doesn't matter, over a month ago. Yeah, which means it dries out quite quick and it gets going quite good, which is good because we need to, and we're hoping to get grass in by the end of the week. But all the grass area is just absolutely, hang on, all the grass area is just absolutely saturated over the whole farm. It is a bit worse here because we're rotationally grazing with the hoggets. Where they're spread out, it's not quite so bad, but man, it's wet. I think we had 208 mils for September. So in the old money, that's a little bit over 8 inches in the month. And already this month, what are we today? We are the 15th today. We've already had over 100 mils, so for October, which is just great. And if you look at that sky, it's not forecast, but it looks like we may get a bit more yet. We'll see. Anyway, these guys have got to go through the next paddock, and that will be a challenge, and you'll see why. Ah, the old muddy gateway stalemate. Oh, but we don't want to get our feet wet. I know you don't, girls, but over there is where the good grass is, and it would really do both you and I a world of good if you could just go through there, please. Come on. It's just the time thing. Steele's doing her best to try and keep them back there. How do you like my lake? Build a house right here and have lakefront property. It's going to get interesting because that's probably deemed a critical source area. But I'm going to plough that and put it in Swedes because it doesn't usually fill up like that. Oh, oh, we're away, we're away. Right, let's just sit tight. Sit tight. Yeah, that is going to pose a problem. In theory, it's not a critical source area, and that is why I'm going to do it. And the reason I say that is because the water doesn't flow to anywhere, it just pools there. And then it has to filter down through the soil in order to actually disappear or evaporate, which means that the nutrients that might be, well, that will be in there, because obviously that was grass, are not getting washed away to a waterway anywhere. That would have to come up another, a lot to actually flow. Man, that would have to come up over a foot. So it would cover a huge area. And it never seems to, it just seems to slowly tick away. Anyway, yeah, some stupid rules by some people that are, well, they've been put into a hard spot, but they haven't really done themselves any favours anyway. So, yeah, we won't touch any more on that right now. Hoogies! That was 4 bales of baleage, but, well, it still is 4 bales, so I wouldn't call it baleage now. That's the 2-tooth singles down the bottom there, and then a few triplets checked. Just thought I'd touch on what's happened here, because it looks like a bloody mess, and it is a bloody mess. Gotta cut that off and start rolling it up again. All those bales at the front are no good. Now, to be fair, most of these bales are pretty no good. Yeah, I have to have a sort through and see what I can use, because I still need a few. I reckon I need 10. But that one's okay. Maybe a couple at the end here. But what's happened here is, I'd love to blame it on that, but it's not that. See all these holes? Bloody contractors, eh? No. No, definitely not the contractor's fault at all. What has happened here is, at the very start of winter, I opened this tube. Way down there. There was 140 bales in it. 142, I believe. And it was nice stuff. It was quite nice. And we had sheep going into this paddock on crop, right down there. And we actually muddied this one up quite bad because we had to keep letting them off, putting them back on because of bad weather. Anyway, the seagulls turned up. Yeah, now it's a bit of a dicey thing here because we've got quite a few varieties protected seagulls, and I never thought about it. But what happened after that was my tortoise broke into the bales out there and they opened them all up. So I had to use them first, and they were really nice quality stuff, and I didn't want to lose it. And I was planning on keeping one of those tubes because I knew we were going to have 40 or 50 bales left over. In the meantime, because this was mud, and then there was a bit of mud out there in the crop paddock, the seagulls decided to sit on these tubes. All these little holes are all from seagulls. Just frustrating. I think this is just from their feet stressing it, but this is from beaks. There's actually stuff growing in there, that's yuck. So this is an expensive annoyance, and in all fairness, I don't know what to do to prevent it happening in the future. I need to find out. Apparently if you shoot a few seagulls and leave the dead ones there, like there were hundreds, if not possibly 1,000, there were heaps Don't know whether I'll put anything up of that earlier on or not. It was quite impressive to see. Because we do have a few varieties of protected seagulls, and like the fines for shooting some of them are 100 grand, I need to make sure that they're not protected. I don't know whether they all are or not. Anyway, apparently if you do shoot a few and just leave the dead ones there, the rest will bugger off. They don't like hanging around their dead mates, which well, I wouldn't either. Yeah, but at the same time, I don't want to go to jail or get a big fine. So we'll have to find out there. But something to keep an eye on in the future, and possibly try. It's really convenient having the baler drops of the crop paddock, but maybe if it's the mud that attracts the seagulls because they want the bugs out of the ground, maybe it's something that we don't do. I don't think it's because the tube was opened at that end, because actually most of the way up, I don't know, to about where those bales are, it was perfectly okay. And then yeah, it just got progressively worse. So it's this end that they've damaged. It's annoying, but it is what it is. So our solution here, once we've picked out the few bales that we need to get the cattle through, is that we are going to get a muck spreader in. I think I need to find out whether that's a doable thing. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but yeah, obviously all the strings will have to get cut off, but whether we can do that on the ground and then use the solder's grade to put them in, whether we have to hold them over the muck spreader to cut them in, I don't know. Surely you can get like 20 bales in a load, and there's only 50 odd bales there, so we'll see. But anyway guys, yeah, that's what that is. Big stage lights are doing their thing. There's a fair few in here that won't be a lamb. There's a fresh single and a fresh set of twins. Nice wee lambs. Yeah. We don't rescan them, so when we're trying to sort out what's in lamb and what's had lambs and died, the lambs and died, yeah, we certainly do give a few the benefit of the doubt. We know when they're going to stop lambing, roughly, so yeah, we'll give it a week or so after that, and then we'll shoot them out again. I might even try and film that for you. I did it a couple of years ago. It's a bit tricky to film, but it's not too bad. We just got real busy this year, so I didn't. But yeah, this lot here are the tutus, which are predominantly singles, although there's a few twins in here as well, which is good. We delayed shedding out massively like normally were. So shedding out's the process of driving through the paddock and taking out the ones that are in lamb and the ones that are yet to lamb, sorry, that have lambed, don't have lambs, the wet dries. Yeah, you sort of move them through the paddock, get them to the end, and then put them through the gate, get them to an empty paddock somewhere, and then yeah, you know that paddock is clean. Every ewe left behind in that paddock has a lamb, at least one lamb. And yeah, just means there's less work to do. We drive around sort of once every day, maybe 2 days, checking for casts. Yeah, but the focus now, you know, on these late lambers, we can still go around them twice a day if we want. Although we haven't been, and there's been no trouble. Yeah, yeah. So that's the process of shedding out. Normally we'd have that done by the 2nd or 3rd of October. This year, these guys got done on the, the 11th, maybe 12th, because there was just that extra week where they were still lambing, which I'd wind up with a mob of about 200 here instead of, oh, there might be 50 there. Yeah, just better to have them out in the paddocks, but at the same time, got to reduce that workload. Pretty fresh. I think we might pop this puppy back on and give you guys some better audio, eh? Hopefully that sounds a bit better. Now, last night I was in here disking. Did that one, I don't know, 4 or 5 nights ago. It's not ready to go here yet. Like, grab that and squeeze it. It's close. I'm kind of hoping we don't get rain today, and that it comes out a bit finer, or even just a bit windier this afternoon, and I'll get Sarah going. See that paddock over there and the one behind it? They're good to go on the discs. I'll get that done this afternoon, but it'd be quite good to get Sarah going in here with the max till, even if she just got one pass on each paddock. it's like 3-4 hours work out of the road, and one step closer, because today is Tuesday and I'm hoping by Friday the whole 20 hectares is sown out, because yeah, I want to get it done and then get tailing done. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago maybe, Sarah came in here and planted some trees. Now they're planted quite a wee way apart, and some people might not like that, but I do, because I don't really want hedgerows. Where's the case in point? That one down there. I like big trees. I don't like box hedges like what we've got over here on the neighbour's place. Don't get me wrong, they work, they do a job, but I much prefer the idea of having some shelter out there rather than all the shelter out there, because the weather comes from that way. They don't sit there, and then when they do, in bad weather, it just turns to a muddy bog, and when it's in grass, obviously. Not right now, it would turn into a muddy bog. Yeah, the box hedges, when things get real bad, I reckon they kill more lambs than they save. So we want big trees, create shelter, you know, take the edge off further out in the paddock, and that way when the sheep are still out in the paddock, because they always move away from the weather, they never go into it, it'll soften the blow. They're just, oh, what are they? They're sort of like a green Leylandii. Can't remember what they're called. Like a half macrocarpa thing. I quite like Macs. They grow fast, they're evergreen, they're strong. If we ever need to do something with them, they're good timber, as long as they grow straight. Yeah, they're a lot better than pines anyway. But yeah, we won't be planting every shelter belt we do in Macs. But for now, I mean, that's them up there. Yeah, they're 150 years old, 170 years old probably. But yeah, they're good trees. Oh, that one and that one, but not that one, that's not us. They're ready to go. So if it doesn't rain, I'll get into that later on today. Two twins, 1, 2, there was a third paddock there I've just emptied for the singles to go and do. So 1, 2, 3, 4 paddocks. They're getting bare enough. Need some sunshine. Like, we're not skinned out, you can still see plenty of clover there, and there's still a length of grass there. So provided we get some hot weather sometime soon, it will grow. And to be fair, this is probably not too bad, because we'll get some quality regrowth and hopefully not lose control in November like we always do, but we'll see what happens there. Yeah, they always say you're bare when you can see the shit. Well, yeah, we can certainly see the shit. Yeah, but that's what happens when it rains for 6 weeks and it's cold. The high for today is 11 degrees, the low is 0, so it is what it is. Oh, it's wet. Something cool about that I'm going to show you guys very shortly. I made my life a lot easier, but yeah, it's wet. These guys are looking happy enough though. Excuse this, this is just, there's a pile here and 2 piles over there with the other guys. These guys are looking alright. Hoping mid-late November they're going to be gone. We're going to get them out of here, possibly when they finish this bale, tomorrow, the next day. Very easy to get out, just down there and gone. The calves, or the yearlings, are going to stay there for another few days, hopefully. Yeah, these guys are going to go and do a clean-up job on a paddock down at Mum and Dad's. Yeah, and hopefully do some growing. Kind of hoping they can do like 250, 270 kgs on the hook in, say, a month's time. I don't know. I don't know whether they will or not. We need to have a weigh up. They won't be growing a whole lot in here. They'll grow a lot better when we get them out. But at the same time, I've got to sort of balance that. We're not growing a lot of grass out here at the moment, and I can feed them in here. Well, you saw that baleage earlier on. I might be able to get one more load. We'll see. I'm going to have to. Yeah. So they need to go, but they have needed to stay in here this long. They've been in here almost 6 months now, so yeah, looking alright. And yeah, for the next half hour, I'm just going to go for a drive round. Something like that, checking for casts, and then we'll see you back after lunch. Righto guys, one more thing to do before we have lunch because it's only 11:30. No bird's nest in there, that's good. So yeah guys, you sort of get the idea driving around there what kind of state we're in. We're lacking feed. That's the first time driving around that I've actually felt like we are bare. There's a couple of paddocks out there that are grassy. That is going to change in the next few weeks because we're going to shuffle some stuff around, but that's, yeah, it's the first time. Like, the place is looking quite grey and there's just not a lot of feed around, and even 3 or 4 days ago we were looking better than that. Two things are happening there. One, we've had some cold weather. You just don't grow as much grass in the cold weather. And two, the lambs are eating a lot now. So as the lambs eat more, obviously feed demand, oh, I've got to change gear. Feed demand increases, and yeah, normally things warm up and you'd be growing some grass. Now we've got, today's got a high of 11 degrees, tomorrow's got a high of 11 or 12, then we've got 2 days in the mid-teens, and then we're supposed to have a couple of days where it's going to hit 20. So if it hits 20, that'd be awesome. That'll boost the grass covers away. Like I said up in the terrace, we're not bare to the point where it's absolutely wrecking our chance of growth. Like, we've still got that wee bit of solar panel there to do its thing, but yeah, that needs to happen pretty quick because otherwise that will disappear, and when that disappears, or if that disappears, then yeah, we're sort of set for the rest of the season till weaning. Then it would take a hell of a good weather to allow us to grow bugger all more grass. I mean, it's always growing underneath them, right? They're always getting something. Is it enough? It depends on what the weather does, but what can we do about it? Basically nothing. Part of being a sheep farmer is realising that a lot of the time you've got to work with what you've got, so that is what we do. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to drop the weight block off this and the subsoiler. I have got all my subsoiling done apart from about 200 square metres. We managed to find a old steel water pipe, like hundreds of metres of it, and it's caused me no end of grief. Every time, so the subsoiler we're running down about 26, 27 inches, and you just go as deep as you can go, right? The shear bolts, the M12 12.9, the high tensile cap screw bolts are right on the edge of what they can handle, and the extra drag when the pipe wraps around it is enough just to pop them. So I popped like 6.5 an hour the other day trying to get one wee headland done and just gave up. But anyway, we'll drop it off, weight block off, get the max tool on, and Sarah can get going on that whenever she gets to it. That one paddock's going to go quite well looking at it, and if the other one dries up, we might get that done later on, and I'll be after lunch going disking, I think, because cattle don't need fed. Been around the sheep, hoggets are shifted, calves are fed, lambs are fed. They need fed again tonight, obviously. Yeah, we're up to date, and we've got a good forecast, so we need to capitalise on that and try and get the seed in the ground. There goes Sarah away. Got her all set up with the cool electronic presets in that thing. So she should be doing about 1500, doesn't quite sound like it yet. Here we go. And when she gets up in the gears, up to 12th. One more there maybe, there we go. She's away. So, there, now it is. Coming up quite nice. It looks quite wet, but it's actually not bad. This stuff got rained on after it got dissed, so It is a wee bit sticky, but it's not supposed to rain now for like 6 or 7 days, so that pass there should, yeah, go good. Bit of a breeze up, should dry out, it's nice and fluffy. Sorry. Yeah, we'll wait for it to come back. Man, that is a nice tractor. Well, I'm not saying it's the best of the best, but it's just so smooth, so comfortable. I know that makes it feels nice to have a bit there, but for this passing that ride, we don't really have depth adjustment on it, so that is a depth adjustment. This isn't so easy. One more 270 horsepower. You can sort of see the discs leave a real humped and hollowed finish. That's why I don't like using them, but TM's sitting right there. We're going to go get her going in a couple of minutes. Just to be able to get two machines actually going at one time here is a big help. Now, we're doing loops here. Could stop and do a back and forward and do less headland time, but you know what? Tractor gearboxes are really expensive, and I want to run these things. Like that TM's got 10,915 hours on it or something now. I don't really feel like buying a new tractor anytime soon or fixing them, so we're going to try and not break them. Takes 5% longer to do a pedal that way, but I'll take the lack of repair bills, I think. This is way. Oh, I'm going to miss driving that thing, but I'll get to do a little bit on it. We're going to do the discing's getting done with the TM, that's getting done with that until that's finished, and then by then I should have this paddock Dutch harrowed and chain harrowed. You'll get to see it all as it happens. Yeah, then that one will jump on the Dutch and chain harrows and go that paddock and the other two, and I'll get the roller drill on the TM, and then I'll probably drill the last paddock or two with the T7, just because T7's got like 4,300 hours on it. TM's got, like I just said, knocking on the door of 11,000. I don't want to have to replace the tractor anytime soon, so while we are just going to use them, it's not the main focus to put less hours on that one. We do want to put less hours on the TM, so if the T7's finished, then the TM's finished and the T7 can carry on the jobs. That paddock actually looks like it's drying quite nicely at the moment with that breeze up. It is a southerly breeze, but maybe we'll get a pass done on there tonight too. No birds' nests. Always check for birds' nests. Right, that one's all good. Just show you guys here, we've got the seed drill. It needs a wash because of bloody birds, and look at my poor boat. I need to get it covered. I need to wash it first. I'm going to use it soon, so neither one of those things, well, it'll get washed first. Grass seed. You'll see that later in this video. Yeah. We have changed companies this year and we've saved a substantial amount of money. Not on the same product, to be fair, but on a product that the other company couldn't offer. $247 a hectare, I believe it was, plus GST, instead of $394 from memory, somewhere around there. So big saving. Like I say, not necessarily the same product. We're hoping it will be a good grass, but yeah, the way economics are right now, we just had to do something to try and save some money. So that is something that we found. Not really a good spot to check the oil in this girl right now, but to be fair, it's sitting on level. She's down in the nose, but leaning this way. Right, I was more wanting to see the state of it and make sure it's there. This will be way off too. I don't know. Once again, the angles must be right. Right, discs. It was a bit muddy on the headlands last night. Yes, I know I shouldn't drag that up the road, but you know what, I don't care. I'm going to because I have to. Got a foam cannon for the water blaster the other day, and some foam. There you go, 920 hours. There's a 10,000 to go in front of that. Yeah. Good girl. So, yeah, foam cannon. Worked real good on the outside. But it didn't work very well on the inside because, well, I didn't use it on the inside as you wouldn't. But yeah, handy thing. I do need to give this a bloody good clean out the inside though. These discs are really annoying because to get them to travel down the road any good, oh look at that, it's sitting right. I've got to put this pin in, and it never sits right, but right now it actually is, just about. There we go.
Where you are on that board. In my case, once I managed to calm and settle myself.
There you go guys, just listening to Andy Muir on the Mustard talking to Doug Avery. What's the date today? The 15th of the 10th. If you jump on Spotify, go and look up the 15th of the 10th, Doug Avery. Well worth a listen, all on mental health. Right, pins out. Let's go. Guys, that should give you a bit of an idea of what we're doing there. Just want to touch on that. You'll notice when we're doing this, the soil is always moving downhill. That's just the thing with cultivation. There's only one tool, well, there's two really that we can do it with, but one that we can have a really big effect with, and that is the plough. And you'll notice this, I tried to fill it in a little bit. If you don't know what a plough is, go back and have a look at the plough videos. There'll be some coming up in a month or so. So we pick the soil up and we turn it. So we pick the grass up, get under it, flip the grass over so the grass is on the bottom and the dirt's on top. What that does is kills the grass and gives us some dirt to work with for the next crop. It's not the only way to do it, it's the way we do it. What we do, got a hillside like this, quite easy to do here, turn the whole bloody thing uphill, and then you've moved all your paddock 16 inches up the hill, 18 inches, 20 inches depending on the width of your furrow. Centre point to centre point, yep. So if you do that to start with, then you're kind of winning, and you just be mindful of it when you're working your paddocks, that everything you do after that is shifting soil downhill. But if you've shifted the whole paddock uphill to start with, yeah, you're kind of okay, because otherwise all these knobs around here, all these hillsides, you know, I didn't plough. Here's my plough line, and plough line's up there. So those wheel tracks just above that. But I ploughed all that, not this rough bit, the bit further over. Yeah, you're just mindful of that. All those knobs would be clay if we didn't be mindful of that. So just thought I'd touch on that. But yeah, the discs. So the idea is getting a little bit of a shine on those discs now. They're rusty as hell. They haven't been used in 2 years. There's a bit wet and sticky still, but that's alright. This video will make sense by the end of it. So the idea is that gap there should also be that gap there. Now it's very hard to make perfect, especially with tandem discs, because so these are tandems. You have the zigzag on both. You also have offsets where, if you imagine that wasn't there, it's just that gang and that gang but the full width. So that goes the whole way through there, and that comes the whole way through there. These probably do a better job of actually cultivating, but the offsets leave a way more level finish if you go the right way, because they don't leave big trenches everywhere. They fill the previous trench in, like this side. It's creating a trench. So let's just imagine, yeah, the other side. So let's imagine that's the last pass. Yeah, this one here is throwing it away from that, and that one there would be throwing it back. And how does it work? Yeah, they do work that way, that's right, the spacings. And that would mean, see how that's filled in back there but open there? Yeah, and your last pass would have that, which you fill in. So yeah, it works quite well. But these are what we have, and these are what we're using, because right now there ain't no money to be thinking about buying new stuff. So you sort of see there, they just sort of bite in. We're running quite a lot of cut. That's the angle between them. We can adjust that with that pin in there, and that one there. The more cut you run, the slower you have to go, but the more cut you run, the more it bites in. So right now, on this hard subsoil stuff, we need it to bite in. The levelling can be done with the maxi tool and the Dutch chain harrows afterwards. Yeah, we'll get back into it.
Kids are in bed somewhere. Ben is disking into the paddock. The weather has come great. Well, it's come good, and things are drying out, so we are making the most of it by getting these paddocks ready to sow grass into, hopefully before the end of the week, is what Ben is hoping.
Ain't she pretty? Needs a bit of paint work on that bonnet. But, all good girl. Right, so I've done the one over the back of there. You can sort of see over there a bit. Got this one to do now. Sarah's going to get going over there. And yeah, the next, hopefully 48 hours from now, we'll be all sown out.